He says, "What's up, Sim and Smitty? We doing good, man. Happy to be back. Um, y'all probably hear the ruckus upstairs. My dog and my young son having their way. Let me tell them to be quiet really quick. But how's everybody doing, man? Hope everybody's good. We missed last week, but we are back this week. You know, sometimes life happens, but I didn't want to let another week go by. I mean, obviously, this is what we want to do every Thursday, but if we ever miss a week, you better believe we more than likely will be back the following week unless, something else crazy happens. But anyway, I think this week it turned out, and the funny thing is, Smitty, every time we actually skip or miss a week, we have a bunch of stuff to talk about. Like things happen during the week. We got a
Yeah,
mouthful to talk about tonight. So what's up to everybody? But y'all know, man, we're gonna do our quick introductions. We're gonna say what's up to Smitty. Let him talk about whatever he wants to get into before we dive into the main topics. I'll do the same, and I'll go ahead and kind of give you guys a tease. I don't want to call it a tease, but we already know right here in the opening topic, we definitely gonna talk about what's going on in the world really quick. So for some of you guys that don't like that type of thing, it is what it is. You know, me and Smitty, we're real people. We like to address the real life topics, and I mean this is just the environment we live in. So we're not gonna start this show without diving into that. So we'll definitely talk about the tragedies that's going on. Jacob Blake, right? That's the last name,
yeah,
Blake, right? The Jacob
yeah.
Blake situation, the NBA. So we're gonna get into all of that, and then we'll dive into the gaming topic. So again, if you guys don't like that, buckle up. You know, just bear with us for a moment. We won't be there long, but that's probably where we're gonna start. So yeah, with that said, Smitty, how's everything, man? How was your week? The last 2 weeks, and if you want to kick us off with the NBA and Wisconsin and whatever else we want to dive into.
Yeah, no, man. I mean, everything's been good. Family's been good. Um, Waiting for them to get in, as a matter of fact. But everybody's doing good. What's going on to everybody in the chat and everything? Glad to see y'all coming in and coming through. Glad to be back on with you guys. Um, I mean, NBA has been fun. I will say this, I will say that it definitely is fun, definitely is entertaining. Giannis getting the defensive player of the year is not a shock at all. Like, that's rightfully earned. And even when I talk about the Bucks, I will say this. I gotta commend these guys on various levels. Coming together, Adam Silver, great job running the NBA bubble, all that, phenomenal job. Them being able to represent themselves with the jerseys on the back, whatever it is that they want to represent. Once again, phenomenal. Appreciate that. That's on point. But big move, big move. And understand, these guys aren't senators. These guys aren't politicians. Yes, they do have a platform, but there has to be a legit plan of action, like my man Chris Webber said, in which Chris Webber spoke very eloquently. Beautiful, beautiful. If you guys heard him yesterday, you know what I mean. Yeah. And the Bucks walking off the court. Well, not walking off the court, but basically saying they're not suiting up, they're not playing. Even
And
the
Kenny
WNBA
Anderson,
just
not Anderson, excuse me, Kenny Smith. Wow, shout outs to
yeah,
Kenny,
Kenny
man.
Smith, yeah,
I
Kenny, yeah,
I
Jet,
I
that,
felt that. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
yeah, that was real.
yeah. He was just like, I can't do it, man. I gotta go. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just right. And he rolled out, you know what I mean? And that's huge. That's a huge move. And see, the key thing that has to happen though is like what my man C Webb was saying, there has to be a plan. It's one thing to protest, and that's the whole thing. He was like, yeah, the protests and everything, I get it. The demonstrations, the not playing the games, everything else, that's great. But there needs to be a plan of action. You know what I mean? And I mean, look, these actions people are taking. Yep, Doc Rivers speaking as well. That great point there, Brett. He spoke very well too. And it's like there has to be action. Even Michael Wilbon on PTI, when he was on PTI the other day, he great point. he straight up was saying, get the cops to stop killing us. Then we could sing Kumbaya. He's like, I'm not here to hold hands and sing Kumbaya with nobody right now. Like, this is going on right now. Like, there has to be, get some true resolve to this. Then we can actually, discuss something. We can actually move somewhere. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, you know, the stuff, I mean, look, Sim has said it. I've said it.
Smitty.
We've done all this. We've done these discussions
Let's
too many
do
times.
it.
And it's the same thing. We've had these discussions enough times and made these points. Hey, Sim and I have both lived this. I'm pretty sure there's people in the chat that have lived this kind of stuff. Thank God that we were covered and we're here to be able to talk about it. And the thing is that, I mean, in this case, Jacob Blake, with what happened with him. Now, Sim and I were talking about this, and I was putting him up on the fact that there was a second video. Now, the thing is, the first video, which all of us that did see it or chose to see it, and that got very much well saturated out there, was him reaching into the car. Dude cop goes in, grabs his shirt, whatever, tugging on it, and at the same time, he shot him 7 times. Now, that was excessive. Beyond excessive. He didn't even need to do any of that. You know what I'm saying? And the one thing I'll say this too about the players. You know what? I honestly wish that at the end of the day, I wish that the players called it a wrap and said, you know what? We're done. Because of what happened. Yeah, it's cool. The Black Lives Matter on the court, the jerseys and everything is cool, but at the same time, the message is not being delivered loud and clear, man. I'm out. You know what I'm saying? And just be done. And I mean, it's one thing when you got the key players that just be like, man, I'm done. You know what I'm saying? That I would have loved better. I think it was reported that they're going to come back and play. They're just taking tonight off, and then they're going to play on like Saturday or something like that. For like tomorrow or Saturday, they're going to continue playing. But I mean, there needs to be some big impact because, like what Stephen A. was saying, I saw on Twitter this morning. Like he said, like these owners, they bankroll these people in office. You know what I'm saying? Like these are people that have the money, the power, and that finesse to be like, hey man, look, this product that brings us all this money, they don't want to come in. You know what I'm saying? I mean, think about it. If you got LeBron, if you got Kawhi, if you got Giannis and all these people, they just like, man, I'm straight. And just say, man, I'm good. I'm not coming in. Like I got enough money to sustain. Like I'm good. And just roll out. You think the playoffs gonna continue? No way. They're gonna be like, yo, something gotta happen. And that's the thing. You got these big names, like I said, they'll be like, all right, guys, look, they're gonna go to those politicians and be like, listen, you better do something. You know what I'm saying? Because somebody gonna lose some funding. Like, you better fix this. So that's the kind of action that real talk has to happen. It has to be real change. It's just not a matter of just saying, oh, well, we'll sit out for a game. It's appreciated. Don't get me wrong, but there has to be more drastic action to it than just than that. And I mean, across the board, it has to be felt. Like it has to be impactfully felt for change to really take place. And and in regards now, going back to what I was saying about the situation, the shooting. Now we all saw the main clip that was put out there. He goes around the van, goes to reach in on the driver's side, opens up the driver's side door, reaches in, cop pulls on him, and then he shoots him 7 times in the back. Way beyond excessive. There's no pardoning on that. No justification on that. None. Okay? Now, the one thing I will say, though, is that there was a second video that came out a few days later. And the thing, look, the video is not crystal clear, and it doesn't justify the end result. So let's make that part clear. Regardless of my man having a record and all that. But the cops did try to sorry about that, y'all. The cops did try to restrain him without use of weapons or anything like that. That didn't work. He fought them off. They tried to tase him. Once again, fought him off. Then you go around the car in the main video that we all saw. You go around the car, reach in to the what you're trying to grab. You fought these cops off. Just think about that a little bit. You fought the cops off to go around to the front, to go around to the driver's side of the car and then reach in. What were you reaching in for? Now, once again, 7 shot, that's that there's no pardoning on that. But in that kind of situation, if he got shot in the leg or something like that, I can understand that. 1 shot, I can understand. But not no 7 dang on shots, especially when there's 2 of y'all there. That's beyond excessive. And see, this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying, Philly. That's what I'm saying. See, once again, are you understand? Okay, now understand this. His kids are in the car, right? If the cops are trying to arrest him, once again, second video, you telling me that there were other people around too. He couldn't have said to somebody, hey, my kids are in the car. Can you get them out, please? Hey, so-and-so, such and such, like any of those people that were nearby, that were around the situation, he could have possibly told one of them to get his kids out the car. See? So I'm not justifying, and understand this, I'm not justifying. That's why I said, like, pay attention to everything I'm saying here, because see, when we talk about sensitive matters like this, it's real easy to go all the way to the left and all the way to the right. I'm seeing that from Philly and Elau right here. Is understand, I'm not justifying it at all. What I'm saying though is that when you wrestle cops away as a black man, on top of that, you already know that's not good to do. Because what typically happens to us off rip, you know what I'm saying? So, once again, if he goes around and he goes inside the car, what is he reaching for? You know what I'm saying? So that's the problem. That's the thing I'm saying. It's one thing if it's 1 shot. And I'm not saying like, yo, a fatal wound, like shoot him in the back or shoot him in the chest or some junk like that. Like, nah. But see, Jacob, think about it. Would a warning shot have been enough? Do you know that for a fact? Do you know that he would have completely calmed down if he took a shot off to the side? You see what I'm saying? Like, we don't, and that's what I'm saying. Well, like we're saying we're sitting up here and we're saying what should happen after the fact. In the heat of the moment, and if you've ever been in the heat of the moment of a situation, have you ever been in the heat of a moment of a situation before where you lived through that situation and you think back and say, you know what, thinking back in situation A, thinking back to situation X, man, I wish I had done this instead of that. Man, I wish I did that instead of this. Man, if I had took this choice, if I called this person, if I had went with these people instead, it's a heck of a lot easier to say that what you should have did when it's post the situation. But when you're right in the thick of the situation, and I'm not excusing anything at all. This is not excusing anything. What I'm saying though is that we're bringing a situation here, and we're talking about 2 human beings in this. You have the man who reaches into the car after fighting off the cop that tried to take him down with non-lethal force. And then he goes into the car to do what? You see what I'm saying? And once again, I'm not excusing this is not condoning anything. So this is what ended up happening, and it's jacked up, man. And like I said, I'm not saying that it's cool at all what happened to him. Like they honestly should have been able to straight overpower the guy. To be quite honest, it shouldn't even came down to a gun. But what I'm saying is, if it came down to him being able to get to his car and reach in for whatever reason, then yeah, like I said, it's one thing to take a shot. But the straight up, I mean, you straight sat there, boom, 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 like, no, what is he doing? His back is to you, like he's completely back turned to you, and you just like, no, that's what I'm saying. That's why I said the end result, there's nothing that's going to justify the end result. So that is way, way too excessive. It's one thing if you were going to shoot to neutralize because he fought off the cops. And I mean, listen, I know we can all talk about the situation. We can talk about various situations when it was a white person and how the cops didn't do anything, nowhere near that, and everything else. And I'm not blaming anybody for feeling that way. I feel the same way. I understand. It's definitely not okay at all what happened here. Nothing is okay. None of it is right, and none of it is justifiable. Okay, but the whole picture has to be accounted for. We only seen the end result is what we saw primarily. We didn't see how did it get to that point. The way the picture was originally painted was my man just was walking in his car and all of a sudden he just gets shot 7 times. But there was more to the story. There was more to the situation. And yes, does there need to be tighter conditions when it comes to the training and rearing up of the police? No question. There definitely has to be. No question about that at all whatsoever. But in this case scenario, was it handled the best way it possibly could have? No, not at all. There's 3 on 1 of him and he wasn't armed. You know what I'm saying? You telling me y'all couldn't hold this man down? You couldn't hold him down long enough? Like, you know what I'm saying? Now I honestly on everything that is sacred, I wish my man didn't run away. I wish he wasn't so determined to get away from him. I wish he just had been more cooperative and just been like, my kids are in the car. Can you guys please unlock the car door? Or even if there was somebody else around, could you please unlock the car door? My kids are in the back, please. Could y'all please get? That's all I'm saying. Because you know how they treat you. You know how the treatment goes when it comes to us. And I'm pretty sure he knew that. But he was, once again, in the heat of the moment, he was so focused apparently on his kids to get them out the car that he went around. That was his mindset. But the cops didn't know his mindset. And even if he did speak, we didn't hear any, we didn't hear audio, but from him. So even if he did say, hey, my kids are in the car, I need to get them out, blah, 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 that could have fell on deaf ears and they could have just been ignorant about it. So he just was like, skip it, I'm gonna go ahead and get them out. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, that's all I can really say about it. Like, that's my thoughts on it. That's, like I said, Sim and I have talked about these kind of things, and it's not cool. Either way, this is completely uncool. And honestly, I told Sim before we got on the air, I was like, I thought my man got killed.
Yeah, when I found out that he was still living, I was like, what?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Now, what sucks is he's paralyzed now.
And handcuffed to the bed. I might add.
They handcuffed him to the bed too. See, I
Yeah,
didn't know that.
my wife just told me that a little while ago. What's that
Oh,
for?
see,
Come on,
yeah,
man.
that's what I'm saying. Like, look, see, I understand my man got a record, right? Now, whatever it is that he has going on, there's no justifiable means for the treatment. Period. Then they take that one kid that shot up the church. They took him to Burger King before he went to jail. Like, come on, he
Dylan
shot
Roof.
up a church and killed 9 people. Was that in Virginia, whatever that was?
They take him to jail
Yeah,
and stop him off to get him a nice meal before
yeah,
the choke sandwich that he gonna get in jail.
yeah,
Some of the real ones
yeah.
out there
Right,
know the choke
right.
sandwich.
But yeah, so it's like, but
Jeez.
yeah, so it's like if you see if they're able to do all that for in that situation, and I understand this is not the same state, this is not the exact same cop detail, but it's just the bottom freaking line, the injustice. Okay, that's it. That's literally it. There's nothing going on that this man did to warrant the shots. Charleston, there it is. Thank you, Jason. The Charleston
Yeah,
shooting.
Emmanuel AME,
Yeah, see, there's
a
no
historical church,
justification.
by the way.
Yeah, so nah, there's no justification for any of that at all whatsoever. So that's basically like so that's basically my take on it, man. And I mean everybody not playing games and all of that stuff. Like there has to be change, but it's like it definitely is going to take a formulated effort in order for that to change. I know people are eyeballing Trump and they're looking at him and everything else as a catalyst and all that stuff and everything. Like I'm not super duper mega politician guy, so I'm not gonna sit up here and act like I what I know on this platform and everything like that. But hey, do the research, check on your people, do a review. You know what I'm saying? Do a review on these candidates. Do a review on what just when we talked about before when people was protesting all over the place. Well, what was we saying? If you in them streets with all that energy, be in the city council meetings and everything with the same energy. Nobody should be able to sit down. It should be standing room only. You got to turn folk away because he ain't got no room. That's how it should be. What you gonna do for me? Are you going to be doing this, that, and the third? Are you going to do boom, 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 boom? If you're not, then all right, who is going to do it? You. Who is it? Because we ain't out here for nothing. And that energy has to flow across the board. If it's not going to flow like that, well, you're in the streets. It's nice to hear it, but ultimately it's falling on deaf ears. Oh, just wait till November's over. It'll be all right. You see what I'm saying? Once November's done and all that stuff is over, okay, it'll be back to square one. It ain't gonna matter. So just want to make sure that that's understood. You know what I'm saying? And it takes action on all levels. You know what I'm saying? So your local legislature, legislation, the local your local politicians, you got to be on it. That's why I said like guys like Killer Mike are a national treasure. You know what I'm saying?
Have mercy.
You know what I mean? And I mean, I haven't seen him say anything recently. If he said something, I'm pretty sure he will or he has. But we need more of that. You know what I mean? It's one thing to say that I stand with you, and I mean the thing is, even that there's only so much of that that's going to work, and that's nice to hear, and it's nice to see. But what goes on beyond that? You know what I'm saying? What's the next move after that? Is what we need to see go on from here. That's all I'm saying. I'm not knocking the the statements and things like that. That's all beautiful, and I appreciate all of it. I love it. I love it. You know, you got NFL rookies. You got Joe Burrow up here standing up, like, yeah, my man. What school he was at? He was at LSU, right? So you down there in Louisiana. So you down, you down there with the brothers and everything like that. So it's like, yeah, you got immersed in that culture. So like you got to stand up and represent, like, no doubt, and he did, and I appreciate that, and I like seeing that. I want to see that more from this younger generation that is being more proactive. Like, this is great to see. But now, like what Chris Webber was saying, like, these actions that you guys are taking today are good for a potential springboard forward, but there has to be action to follow it. Proper action, not just the protests. The protests are profound, they're great, but proper action, having an action plan that's actually developed out and move forward with it. That's the kind of stuff that we got to see going forward, So, but pass it over to you, Sim.
Yeah, man, and let me just say this too, really quick to the chat. You guys got to chill with some of the comments, like racist this and referencing certain organization groups. Y'all got to chill with that, man, because YouTube don't be playing them games. Y'all will mess around and get us flagged. So stop with the back and forth, and like I said, mentioning certain groups, and don't do that. Don't do that. Y'all know how YouTube is, but I feel what y'all are saying, but y'all got to be respectful of that as well. Let me say this, man. It's for those that didn't agree with what Smitty said just by hearing it. I would say we got to stop having the headline mentality. And what I mean by that is a lot of times people read a headline and boom, they run with that. They don't read the details. They don't read the facts. They just see a headline and they go with, oh, so-and-so did this. Oh, so-and-so said that. Oh, so-and-so. Like, no. But did you read the rest of the article? Because the rest of the article actually explained that. And it actually shows you that part of it was like clickbait. What I'm saying is, at no point does Smitty believe or believed that this situation should have happened. At no point does he support it. At no point does he say the cops were in the right. All Smitty simply did was lay out all the facts. And I can't disagree with doing that, because that's what I do. That's what I do with anything. I always think about it. Y'all hear how we talk about Madden. Y'all hear my videos. I'm always looking at everything, the good, bad, and ugly. I don't just go with the bad and run with that. I don't just go with the good and run with that. I look at the facts. So that one fact that Smitty pointed out, yeah, if I was somebody who had to make a determination, I ain't even gotta say if I was somebody. This is how I look at the senseless killings of, my community, black males. I fall right dab smack in the middle of that community. And I look at how many of them have gotten killed, and I'm to the point now where I have to look at, how did this one happen? Right? How does this one compare to George Floyd? How does George Floyd compare to Philando Castile? How does his compare to, what was the guy's name? The other guy that was running away, the older gentleman, Walter Scott, I think his name was. How does his compare to, it's so many names now, the Trayvon Martins of the world. How does his compare to Eric Gunn? That's where we at with it, right? Ahmaud Arbery. And what Smitty was saying is, the way Jacob Blake got shot was different from Ahmaud Arbery, right? Only reason being, the action that he did by going back to the car probably sent the cops into a rage. Silly cops for shooting him 7 times. Because let me tell you something. Most of the time, the way the cops are supposed to operate, gun. And I'm not talking about the dirty or the racist or the cops that's just looking to kill. I ain't talking about them. I'm just talking about pure protocol, right? I've known people in law enforcement. I'm talking about pure protocol. First, you identify gun. Then you identify if gun is about to be used as a weapon. Is said gun about to be pointed at us? You have to make that decision just like that, but you're trained to do that. Whatever happened to put it down, put it down. Whatever happened to that? So these cops are not off the hook at all in my book, and nor are they off the hook from Smitty. But you got to listen to what he said. He merely said, like, after looking at that other video, and I didn't see it, but all Smitty is saying is like, it was wrong, but I can see why these scared cops, scared racists, whatever you want to call them, I can see why they shot, because they're going to use that as justification. You understand what I'm saying? So I got to defend Smitty in that regard, because like I said, to just jump right down on Smitty thinking it's like y'all ain't paying attention to what he's saying. He's not saying it was right or it was justified. He's just saying, wow, that other video gave them in their mind the reason to shoot. But like I said, where they still wrong, 7 shots? And since when do you just automatically start shooting? Because somebody's reaching in the car. Since when do you not do the show me your hands? See what I'm saying? And this is afforded to other communities. It is what it is. Now, I'll be the first one to say this as well. And it's funny, I got to echo what Stephen A. Smith said, because I agree with this. People say it happens to all communities, white, black, in all kinds of communities, right? But we don't hear about it. I don't hear about it in terms of this being a white male getting shot down like that. I'm not saying it ain't never happened, because we probably have seen some situations. I know I have seen situations where there was brutality as well towards a white male. But the shootings and the killings, I don't see them like that. So, but we see it so regularly in the black community. You know what I mean? But also what I need people to do, let me say this as an aside. Don't walk around judging everybody off of one person's actions or 2 people's actions or 3 people's actions, right? Don't look at every black person and think they are what the experience that you may have had with somebody the other day. Don't look at all of us like that. Same way black people shouldn't do that about white people. It shouldn't be a global thing. It shouldn't be, oh, they're white. Well, you know how. It don't work like that, man. Ain't everybody the same. I treat races like races. Period. That's it. Just races. I put you in that box. But this fine white gentleman or this fine white woman that I might work with or knew my whole life, they ain't in that box. They ain't never shown me that. You understand what I'm saying? But when you reveal yourself to me, by the way, like a lot of people have done here lately on Twitter that follow me and this and that, I love it. Because y'all are showing me who you are. And I know, okay, you over there, I'm over here. I love that. Love it. Because I'm not afraid to see who you really are and go ahead and discard you. Just like when I put out the little tweet out there, right? And it's funny because all it takes is a little bit to bait people. It's like when I put the tweet out there when I say, look, man, and I said this verbatim, I don't know Trump personally, so I can't outright call him a racist or not. I don't know what he feels. Understand what I'm saying? He's in a job. He's in a position. He's playing up to a certain, he's playing to a base. Y'all know this. But what I said was the fact that he's doing that, and that's what he's using as his motivation, I can't rock with him or anybody else who's cool with that, right? That's all I said. I said because of the way you are choosing to campaign, and that worked for you, and that's what you rocking with, like standing at your rallies and saying very racial type of stuff, because you know it's gonna fuel people. I can't rock with that. You know what happened? A few people, the first thing they wanted to say back to me, yeah, but what about Biden? Why we going back? You know, why we battling here? It's not about the party. It's not about. But I never said anything about Biden. I never said a word. But their first response to me was, well, what about? That's showing me where your mind is at. You missed my whole point. See what I'm saying? It don't take much to bait people. It's funny. But anyway, I just can't get over the shooting 7 times. And I can't blame Jacob Blake because, again, we've seen this so many times. I mean, the world just saw, you know, the reaction to the George Floyd killing, right? The world has finally seemed to wake up and everybody's taking notice. And don't act like there ain't some closet supporters out there too. And what I mean by that is, you know, they just showing this, you know, they're like the in the moment type of supporter, but they ain't really supporting. They just don't want to look like they not. So let me say there's definitely some closet non-supporters that have spawned from this situation, all of these situations, because you don't want to be the guy. They can't know that I really don't support them. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, how it gets to you shooting him 7 times, whether he went into the car or not, is beyond me. And if you that afraid, if you that scared, come on, you ain't got no business being on the police force, period. Because like I said, rule number 1, identify weapon. Rule number 2, identify if said weapon is about to be, you know, pointed in your direction, or is it about to be used in a deadly or a forceful manner. When you see someone go in and they come out and gun flashes, then you bang. Rule number 3, you're not shooting to kill. Disarm. Injure. Until you feel that your life is threatened. So that's how I look at it, man. Crazy, 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 man. Crazy. That's all I can say. But yeah, I just wanted to make sure you guys got my point in that, man. Is, you know, I don't know if Smitty heard the whole thing because he might have to step away. Okay, but
I'm here.
Y'all, you know, some of y'all treated Smitty like, again, like you just reading headlines. Like, listen to the whole thing that he said, man.
Yeah, like,
You know, it's, of course he don't agree with that. We're just saying. And it's unfortunate that we've seen these many killings. We got to look at them and say, nah, it won't quite like that one. It won't. Like the George Floyd thing was, I don't care what that man did.
right.
The way you kept your knee on his neck, like I don't care what happened beforehand. Even if he was resisting, you still didn't have to do that after he was down. So that one is case closed. And all Smitty is saying here with the Jacob Blake situation is, I see where he gave them fools a reason, in their mind, a reason to shoot.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
That's it.
Other than that, as far as the NBA stuff, man, then I'll throw it back to Smitty and we can move on to the, you know, to some lighter topics. I appreciated what they did, but I'm gonna be honest, I'm a little torn in between, man. And I hate to sound like I'm taking the safe answer because I'm not. I really feel this way. I would love to have seen them just stop the whole thing for this reason. Not only would have it had affected the NBA money, that was going to trickle down to the NFL.
Yeah.
It was going to trickle. If they would have, now that they're supposedly coming back, I don't know. Now you might get a game or so, or maybe the Green Bay might not play week 1, you know, but
right.
If they would have stopped the playoffs, oh boy. You know, athletes know each other, man. Come on. That would have turned into the NFL. Them like, yo, we ain't playing week 1. And when the money like that gets messed up, oh, like Smitty said, all of these billionaire people that we don't see all the time, where y'all think the super PACs and all that come from? Come on, man. We know how this works, which includes policing and funding. We know how this works. This country is, for lack of a better term, we live in a corrupt country, man. Come on. Y'all know how this country was built. I ain't even got to take y'all down that road. This country was built off of a corrupt structure. From labor.
Hey, I'll be right back, Sim.
Yeah, no problem.
All right.
From free labor. I mean, y'all know the story. So y'all know all of those, those things are connected. Let the money get affected. Let the money start getting affected, and then you're going to see some change. Forceful change, meaning that you might have to throw somebody in jail that you ain't want to. Oh, gosh. We got to lock those guys up now. You see what I'm saying? So I would have loved to have seen that, but at the same time, I got to agree with what some of the analysts are saying, where it's drawing a little more attention by continuing to play and continuing to get up there at post game, and they want to talk to you about, so tell me how, you had 30, 10, and 10, and how was the game? And hey, listen, man, the killers for Breonna Taylor are still out there. We want to see them be brought to justice, and we're gonna keep preaching this message and keep uplifting that movement until we see that happen. That's about all I got to say tonight. How many times did y'all hear that? And that's keeping it in the forefront. So that's why I say I'm a little torn in between, because again, remember when we were talking about when the unfortunate death of George Floyd happened, and I was like, yo, I've never seen this on a global scale. Other countries all coming together with the Black Lives Matter, justice for all. I had never seen that on that scale. And I think you continue to further that along when the sports is really putting it right in people's face. That's how you invoke change, man. So I don't have the answer to it. I think, well, it just dawned on me. I think either one of those would have probably been effective, however they do it. I will say I don't know if just a one-game protest is enough, though. You know what I mean? But we off that, man. We'll move on to something else. So while we wait for Smitty to come back, man, let me just see if there's any interesting comments really quick that I want to respond to. If not, I'll kick off, my thoughts as far as we'll go into the 2K bit and then we'll hit Madden. What are y'all saying? Liddell Naismith says some people just love to react off of pure emotion rather than doing a proper assessment on what's really going on. I can't disagree with that at all. I cannot disagree with that at all. You're right. Jacob Perkins says, had they canceled, they would 100% been lockout next season. Owners would have shown their true colors as if they haven't already. That's what I'm saying, man. It gets interesting when you start talking about that paper. For the love of money. That paper, though, man. When you start talking about that bread, boy, it gets crazy out here. I'm going to read one more, man. Antoine Harrison says, you and another brother I follow on YouTube are the only ones I see on here talking about what's going on. There's so many folks I see you on YouTube scared to talk about it. Well, I appreciate that, man. And, it might be more than that. Maybe you just stumbled across us. My man is in here tonight, my homie Dez, the You Heard Me podcast. Yeah, y'all want to hear some real talk. He got some episodes on there, too. He's not afraid to say what he got to say as well. But you have to, man. I mean, listen, at the end of the day, this is how I feel, guys. I'm going to be me regardless. I got to be who I am. I can't put on a front. I can't put on a fake. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know this is a cliche thing to say for some of you guys that of course, have heard this term, but, like, I try to stay sucker free, man.
All right, I'm back.
All right, that's what's up. I try to be as real, not even try, but I'm as real as it gets at all times. Like this stuff don't matter to me. Like if what I'm saying is okay, I lose a viewer because he doesn't agree. Okay, whatever. So I'm not gonna be like, oh, okay, I'm sorry. Well, actually, no, I don't. This is the only way I know to be. So to hear you say that, and Antoine, I appreciate that, man. You can't be afraid to speak your mind because you're gonna be scared you're gonna offend somebody. If you scared in your own skin, then what you gonna stand up to. So that's it, man. We can go to the 2K stuff, and I'll kick it off really quick. Let's make some noise or something to change the mood. Dun, 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 dun. Video games, folks. 2K basketball. I'm gonna go first because my good brother Smitty, I know, is got a little bone to pick, man. In case you guys haven't heard, I know a lot of you guys, watch us both independently too on our, our channels or what have you. Even though this is on my channel, whenever we together, that's Sim Standard. If you saw Smitty's stream, I actually saw it today. I hadn't seen it, man, so I missed it because y'all know I'm not on Twitter as much. But Smitty had a lot to say about the new shot meter, and somebody that we are very cool with, who actually was on this show on a panel one time, had a difference of opinion, and it got a little crazy. I didn't know that. So I know Smitty is going to give y'all a little piece of that. So let me just go first. Listen, y'all saw my tweet, or maybe you didn't. I asked people, I said, hey, 2K enthusiasts, like you guys who are just, that's your game. Like, I tagged the people that I know that play it the most. And I didn't tag Smitty purposely because I know me and him would talk here. But I tagged, like, we know AzureEffect. That's our man. He loves 2K. The Mike McCoy series back in the day. Like, Azure probably was the one who really started making me pay attention in my career. Him and Shake. So I tagged him. I tagged AzureEffect. I tagged Shakedown. I tagged Shady. Shout outs to Shady. And I thanked D-Man. And I said, in general, for all of you guys who are hardcore 2K players, how y'all feeling about this new shot meter? Me personally, I actually like it so far. I had only, fooled around with it for about an hour. So I got a lot of different responses back. So I'll give you guys my opinion of it really quick, and then I'll, throw it to Smitty. Listen, man, I'm playing it right now as we speak. Let me tell you what I like about it. And just for the record, yes, I like this new shot meter. I'm going to give you the less obvious thing that I like about it before I give you the most obvious. I love the fact, this might be a small thing, but I love the fact that when you're shooting a jump shot, it's only pulling down, right? So you can't mistakenly shoot the ball by accident. Trying to pull off a dribble move or something like that, left, right, and up don't work outside the paint. Cool. And I love the fact that when you inside the paint, when you're doing your layups, when you're doing your dunks, you can still press left, right, up. Love it. Because now it separates the shots. So, because that was my biggest concern when I just read the blog briefly. I was like, well, how are you going to do your left-handed layup, right-handed layup, and etc.? If it's all, all the stick is doing so much now. Well, this explains it. Okay? When you're in the painted area, or you don't have to be necessarily in the painted area, and you guys are seeing me look to my left, to your right, I guess the way you're viewing it. My game is over here, so I'm just fiddling with it. Well, let me stop being unprofessional. Let me look at y'all, and then I can do that while Smitty's talking. The beauty of it is, like I said, it separates the shots. So you still got your left direction, right direction, and what have you for your left-right layup. I like all of that. Now, the more obvious thing that I like, too, the fact that now the timing doesn't matter. Now, I know some of y'all are going to trip off of that because y'all remember, for you guys who ever watch me stream 2K, I'm the guy that cuts off the shot meter. Why? What do I always say? I try to make it a little more realistic to me and make it more challenging to where I got to learn their shots and things like that. You know, I don't want to just be able to look at a meter, you know, and boom. You know, all I got to do is time it up. You know, that just, I'm a nut, guys. I know. I'm a nutty simulation guy that don't want it easy. So it's funny now that now I got to get used to the timing not mattering. But to me, in a way, that's kind of more realistic because all I'm doing is telling the guy to shoot. So regardless of how long I hold the stick back, it's still his shot. And honestly, if you really think about it, this is just my opinion, that's more realistic because Kawhi, who I'm playing with now, is going to shoot his shot. I can shoot it to the left, shoot it to the right, or what have you. But it's not like, oh, I held the stick too long. But if you hold it too long, you can still kind of delay it, but you're not penalized for it. You just have to make sure it's on target. And you can like the fact that you can control, shoot a little to the left, a little to the right, that to me is going to take more stick skill than you just timing up just a general meter. I like this. I've gotten some greens here so far. And let me tell you something. I've made way more shots without getting green than I have on green. If you understand what I'm saying. I've only hit the green here in these last 20 minutes, maybe a handful of times. But I've made a ton of shots. Just because it's slightly left, slightly right, don't mean you ain't going to make it. I love it. I know some other people don't, and that's cool. It's cool. To me, there's no right and wrong answer. And that's why I don't see why people get so up in arms over things like that. It's just a matter of preference and opinion. So for people who really get bent out of shape because somebody else feels a certain way, I don't know if I really understand that. Now we can debate, you know, we can say, nah, I like it because of this. No, I like it because of that. But to go at people and all that, I don't get that. And the one thing that I will borrow from Smitty, man, and I know Smitty's going to mention it too. The biggest thing I like about it is you got to adapt. You have to learn a new mechanic. It ain't the easy. We should all be willing to do that. Remember when, and shout outs to 757, man, if he probably still chimes in and listens to the show from time to time. Remember when he used to say that about Madden? You can't be afraid to adapt. And he actually used 2K as the example. Like, look at all them button combinations. We can't be afraid to do that in Madden. I agree. Now, some things should be the norm. If I want to run left, it should always be press the left stick left, press it back, press it right. But changing the buttons shouldn't be that difficult, and changing a mechanic shouldn't be that difficult if it's going to make the game better. We played 2K21, and if it turns out that it wasn't a good idea, maybe they'll change it. Or, again, borrowing from Smitty real quick, you can always do this. Let me show y'all. See that button right there? I'm just saying.
No, too much bravado to do that, though. Too much bravado. You know what I'm saying?
We saw this in Madden. Remember with target passing? Oh, that's stupid. Now, granted, it wasn't implemented the best.
Yeah, it was almost but
just don't use it.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Just don't use it. And guess what happened? She's gone the next year.
Gone. Yep.
So I like it. I'm sorry. That's my opinion. I'm late, guys, on playing the demo. I'm gonna be getting some of that in tonight. I haven't even built the character. I haven't really done the scrimmages because silly me, I've been playing Madden and testing that. I've had the game for a little while now, a little earlier. Smitty has had it. So it's kind of, I haven't gotten a chance to get to this, but I will be testing it out. But just my quick thoughts, man. I love the shot meter. I think it's going to be cool once I really learn it. I have no issues with it. It is different. And like AzureEffect said on Twitter, it's cool to shoot an air ball and know you did that. Exactly. It wasn't a random dice roll. It's like, oh, that's me.
Exactly.
I love that. That makes it immersive. That actually makes this game more immersive when I play it to see, oh, that's money. Bang. You know, like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe we crazy, Smitty, but go
Yeah,
ahead,
no.
Smitty. What's your overall arching thoughts, man, on the shot meter or anything else, about the demo maybe that we
Yeah.
didn't talk about?
Now, the one thing I will say though regarding Madden, I got it, but I don't have it. So I
Oh, gotcha.
technically won't have it until midnight tonight. So, but I got it in a sense. Now, as far as 2K is concerned, and let me just touch on, I'll say this. Some of the tweets that were put out there by certain individuals. Listen. Let me say this first. Before, shout out to Tico. Shout out to my man Tico. I see you there in the chat, man.
Tico is Takari.
Yeah, what up, Tico?
Man, Tico, do you know how long it took me to figure out what that name said? I ain't gonna lie. Like, I did not realize what that meant until we went to, I want to say E3 that one time. I said, oh, that's his name. I never knew.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's crazy. Well, go ahead, man.
No, man, but this is the thing. Look, every time a company tries to implement skill gap, tries to implement something that presents any kind of challenge, it's always nerfed out the game. You don't know why? Because the way people complain. People complain in droves. It sucks. I can't shoot. I can't pass. I can't do what I used to. Blah, 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 blah. So it's like, it's always something, right? So I was online. Shout out to my man Izzy Snow. You know what I mean? He was we was just out there clowning. But I was razzing. And the thing is, even Czar said the same thing. Dudes tweeted at him, man, I've been playing 2K since Dreamcast, and I ain't never had problems with shooting before. And now I can't shoot. And he straight sent the gif saying, hoist them up. And I'm like, that's it. I replied.
Basketball.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I straight up replied, like, hey man, you better practice or else you're gonna look like I put that gif up with Cream Biggums where he shot off the rat, throwing it off. I'm like,
on, Smitty,
practice.
don't talk about my boy Cream now.
No, his jump shot broke. His jump shot broke to the mug, man.
Biggum.
But nah, man, it's like if you don't work on your jumper, you're gonna be looking like him. And the thing is, you can't take something as soon as the challenge is introduced, all this online bravado come out because you used to making your mixtapes or I'm so proficient at video games, I never have these kind of issues, and this is terrible. Okay, so that's why I clown people, because that is the problem. And now I don't know if you guys saw me stream. Like I said my my piece about Bills and everything about that. And shout out to Bills, much respect to him.
Yeah, knock on him.
It's no disses or nothing like that. But at the end of the day, he did backtrack on his podcast from how he sounded on his Twitter account. He straight up said,
and I'm a neutral here because I didn't know none of this until I watched Smitty's stream. So I was like, oh, what happened?
It was literally there. He said that they need to take the mechanic out altogether, get rid of it. He said that the shot mechanic sucks. He even went as far as initially saying that. Now, of course, he did reinstall the demo and played it, and now you see him talking positive. And he even said on his own podcast, he said that, well, it's not that I have a problem with the shot control, but your Twitter timeline literally said they need to get rid of the mechanic altogether. It's kind of contradictory. Whoops, sorry about that. Hit the mic. But that's the thing. And look. Let me tell y'all something. I work, I have an IT background. So, and I used to, like, one of the companies I used to work for before, years ago, we did software implementations for hospitals, okay? And sometimes hardware implementations. And sometimes they would have us go on site to teach doctors and nurses and all that stuff, teach them all how to use this stuff. You don't know how many times I heard people say, I've been working and doing this for 25 years, and I've been doing it for X amount of years. And you telling me I got to do it this way? I'm not doing it because da, 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 da. Okay. My thing is, well, we're gonna be in this room down the hall, and I'm gonna show it from this time to this time, and and that's it. Like if you want to learn, that's it. Ultimately, they curse, they scream, they yell, they holler, they cry, they moan, and all that stuff, thinking something gonna change. And I'm just like, well, your superiors said this is what we have to teach you, so that's what we're here to do. And what ends up happening? That doctor, that nurse, that practitioner, that whatever, that RN, all of them come into that room, and all of them, they look mad and pout and moan and piss and all that stuff. What ends up happening? They be mad and pissed off and pissy and mean and got all them things to say about how they're so proficient in that everything and how everything is so easier with a pen and pad. About a month later, or within a few weeks, those same people all of a sudden, clockwork,
Good to go.
got it,
Yep.
good to go. They flying. They like, man, I didn't know how good this was, man. You know what? I know I gave you guys grief, but oh no, no, man, it's all good. It's okay. It's not a problem. I understand that it's a change. That shock of switching from something you've been used to doing to all of a sudden you got to grasp something brand spanking new that you really aren't comfortable with. That's understandable. It's okay as a gamer to deal with the same thing. People do the same thing. Listen, the same kind of noise was made when it came to Aaron Rodgers and that gambler ability in Madden. Dudes got all hubbub about that. Oh, you're telling me I gotta control my DB because he's not gonna pick the pass off. You mean I gotta? All you gotta do, click on it. If you dial up the right defense and your defender is closing in on the ball, click on the defender, make the play. Click onto him, go for the pick. You pick it off, it's over. That's it. No, but I've been playing Madden for da da da, and I have too. Just make the adjustment, and you're okay. That's all. That's all you got to do.
That's it.
It's just adjust. It's just adaptation. So, like going back to Bills for a second, and we'll just keep the 2K thing. But this is what I'm saying. Guys like that, because I'm not just saying him, but also guys like that were complaining about this. Now, like he said on his podcast, he went on ahead and he was like, "Oh, but I play all these games on the highest difficulty with no aids, no this, no that, and everything. I just play super duper hard." Okay, so me being in IT, if somebody comes up acting like they know all the systems, all the everything, and all that stuff, and I say, okay, well, here's this new wrinkle you got to add into that. Oh my gosh, you telling me I gotta? Well, why are you getting so bent out of shape though? Because yeah, you're used to playing everything challenging. You're used to the challenge, so this should be nothing for you to step up to. And that's where I'm coming at it with, because the thing you could have literally took if you took Bill's tweets, once again, just using him for example, but if you took his tweets from him complaining, let's insert some things we talked about over the years. They need to take that mechanic out. True step in Madden 25, nerfing wideout DB
Oh,
mechanics in Madden 16,
yeah.
getting rid of the pass inaccuracies in Madden 15,
Yep.
getting rid of the organic knockouts in Madden 17, getting rid of making the kicking easier, getting rid of the sack fumble animations in Madden 17. You think I haven't seen a tweet that sounded a lot like Bill's from many other people in videos and tweets that went towards Rex and Clint during all them years? See what I'm saying? So when see, like Sim and I talked about, and even 757, when we talk about these games and we say, hey, you know what? These games could get to a difficulty where there will be guys, not we're not just talking about casuals, but in the sim community that may not like what ends up changing. And they'll complain and sound just like them. Guess what happened here in the case of a guy like Bills? Complained, You sound just like these same people that whine and complain until something gets patched, something gets spayed and neutered. See, that's not saying that, oh, you trying to sound, no, you sound just like them. But beforehand, I'm all about the challenge. But here's the challenge then. That's all I'm saying. So it's like practice, work on your game.
Oh man.
It's not about dissing people. It's just work on the game. That's all it is, man. So getting to the game though, I love the mechanics.
Man, this is crazy. I
I
wish I
love
could
it.
stream this game right now.
And let me tell y'all, for y'all that up here saying, listen, this is the end of the console generation. It is not going to be mind-blowingly different
Not at all.
between last year and this year's game. That's not reality. Okay. We should know that by now. Okay. But I'm not going to sit up here in front like what they added or what they did to this game is bad. This game is not 2K20. This game is better than 2K20. I'm saying, and see, that's what I didn't expect. I didn't expect it to be. I was like, okay, they got the shot mechanics. They may touch the gameplay.
I might pull a
You know
trigger,
what I'm saying?
Smitty. Remember I said I was going to wait.
Like,
No.
I like they might do a little something, but it's not gonna leap off the pages. So to see the gameplay and really be like, hey, yo, I like what they did. I don't feel stuck on screens. The players' movement around the court is legit. You can legit blow past players. It doesn't feel sticky. You know, like even when they ride your hip, it looks legit. And the shot mechanic is that much more rewarding on top of.
Love it.
Because if I'm laying it up and I miss it or I convert it, I'm like, let's go. Like, because I did that. You know what I mean? I'm responsible for how the outcome potentially played out. Now, even if I get my shot lined up and everything, it can still get blocked. See that too. So it's not just a guarantee, which I love that kind of stuff. And that's something that's a steeple in 2K that's been there for a minute. But see, these are the kind of things that I love. And I love that about the game. So it's gonna be a very fun, it's gonna be a very fun experience. No question. No question. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, like there's not a ton you could do. The one thing I'll say I truly don't like is that you can only play 5 games.
Come on,
like 5
2K.
quick, like 5 quick games, and then you're done. You know what I mean? Like let's say, like for example, myself, if I play 2 quarters of a game, that counts as a game. You know, if I play 2 quarters and then shut the demo off, like that counts as one of your games. So it's like, yeah, that's a bit cool.
I guess I don't like that, but I guess they figure the game's coming out next week.
Yeah, I mean it's next week. I
Maybe
understand
that's why.
that. So, but I mean, it's like okay, but you can, I mean, at least you can practice your stick skills and you got the drills and all that, so that's fine. But all in all, it definitely is something that definitely gets me like looking forward to this game coming out, let alone the next gen version. Cause I'm like, if they're doing this for this, and plus we still don't know about my GM or my league stuff yet.
Oh, the dribbling. Oh my goodness. My bad, y'all. Y'all seeing me react in real time here. Oh my god.
It's the game is solid. I mean, when I was streaming it yesterday, people that tuned into the stream, y'all saw how I was reacting to what was going on. Like the game was solid. Like it's a solid game of basketball, and I enjoyed it. So I am impressed. I am impressed. Can you switch players in practice? Yeah.
Free throws the same way. Oh wow.
Yo, yeah, the free throws the same way too. Buddy. Yeah.
So, wow.
But yeah, you can, depending upon what the drill is, you can switch the players. I think that's how it works. But yeah, so because like for the dribbling, I think they have it like Pat Beverly is out there at first, but you can switch to somebody else like a Paul George or something like that too. So if I'm not mistaken. Well, yeah, I've seen people posting Twitter clips of them using different players in there. So yeah, but it's just the Clippers team that you could use in the practice when you're doing the practice stuff. But yeah, when I say that it's a good game, yes, it's good. I'm not expect like I said, it's the end of it's the end of the console generation, and they're focusing on next gen. I'm not expecting them to
Right.
do mind blowing, just completely, this experience should just topple over and then also get blown away on next gen. That's not gonna happen. These game companies don't do that. But I commend 2K because this game is not a mere port over. If you believe it is to you, that's fine. But I mean, just from playing the game itself, I don't. I mean, not the game. Excuse me. Playing this demo, there's a lot of good stuff that's going on in this demo,
Yeah,
man.
they made it better.
So
They made it
yeah,
better.
so there's some clean playing basketball in that demo. So it makes it intriguing for getting the next gen version for sure. So excuse me, getting that Mamba edition, which I'm telling Sim, you better off just getting that Mamba edition so that way you got your five or your PS5 squared away and you still gonna get the four version in
Yeah,
on top of it.
run
Like you
that
might as
down
well.
for those in the chat that might not know that, because I
So
heard you say that in your stream too.
yeah. So what you basically could do is it's like this. Let's say you're not going to be getting if you're not going to be getting a PS5 or an Xbox Series X in a while post launch. Let's say it's going to be several months down the road, or maybe not even this year, or something like that, just future. Then get 2K21 Mamba Edition for this generation. Okay. Because what it'll do is it'll give you, you'll get the VC and all that stuff or whatever the bonus is, but you'll get this game, but then you'll also get a code for the console of your choice of next gen. So you'll have it technically. So you'll just have it for next gen. Okay. So that part will already be squared away. Now, if you really want to, if you're like, if you want to play your my player, your my team, and all that stuff, and you want to keep your VC intact and all that good stuff, and you plan on getting into next gen earlier, like at launch or a little bit after that, whatever, then that's where you go ahead and you get 2K Mamba Edition for Gen 5. Okay. So that way, and excuse me, I prefer digital because if
Yeah.
you get the hard copy, you're not going to get the code until the game actually comes out on next gen, which doesn't make sense to me at all. But they're going to because they're going to package the code in the box. So if you get the digital version, then you'll get the code for 2K21 for now on this generation, and then you'll also have a code for um 2K21 on next gen. So that'll be the better way to go. If you're like, man, I love the way this game plays, man, I can't wait to next gen. Just do that. Just do that instead. Like I said, if you're gonna be getting if you're not getting your console till well down the line in the future or whatever like that, and you just want to play your my career, your my player, and all that stuff, or if you like playing my team and you want to have your VC and all that stuff, get the Mamba edition for now. So at least you'll have the code for when you do get your next gen console down the line. You'll have that secured, okay? But otherwise, I said me personally, I prefer digital version. Get the next gen version if you're trying to get the consoles at launch or whatever. Get that digital version. You'll have the version for this generation, the standard, and then you'll get your Mamba edition and bonuses and all that stuff when next gen drops. So that's that would be the move, I believe. Like that'll be the smartest move. Um, but yeah, but yeah, the game looks good, and I look forward to when they start putting out those next gen details because I really want to see how this game is going to look going forward,
Man.
especially with the stuff they did here in this game. And it's a lot of the basketball nuances that you're noticing here in the game. Fast break, the transitional game is pretty solid. Like it's more solid, I should say. You have it looks like they finally got the speed differentials looking right. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to players running up and down the court, or guys trying to trail accordingly. So that's I already know Tico gonna have the Kobe edition. I already know that. But no, but the thing is, uh that seeing how defenders rotate, like they double team, it is not sticky. It's like it took a long time for them to get to that solution with that. But it's like they will double and move around. It'll be as if they're playing trap, like they're playing trap defense on you, because it's like they move, they stick and move, stick and move, stick and move. And in some cases, it's like they'll double, but they're playing in between the guy they're leaving, or they'll try to, but depending upon how they move around, how they try to space around the floor. And once again, the beauty of 2K, I love it how even if you don't necessarily dial up a play, they still have the know-how to try and space out the floor, cut to the basket, move around, run the baseline, all those different things. So it's like 2K be doing that, man. And once again, they didn't just do some subtle touch up. They actually put work in on the game, like some legit work in on the game. And I love that. So, I'm just curious as to, well, I would assume next week they're going to unveil if they did anything to my league at all or to my GM. That would definitely be interesting because that's my wheelhouse mainly. So if that's what they do, that's going to be awesome. So hold on, wait, they're going to be able to play with their, hold on, wait. Did they say? Hold on, wait. OG, you in here? Is it confirmed that you can transfer your my career player over? Because I heard the my team progress, you're able to do that, but I don't know if that's something that you could do. If you could transfer over your my career player, if you could do that, that'd be awesome. Because I thought Mike Wang said you couldn't. Or Mike Wong, excuse me. I thought he said that you couldn't do that. So if you can, that'd be awesome. Like they said, Ronnie said, I don't know. So I don't know. Ronnie is suspect with the information sometimes. He ain't always on point because Mike Wong literally said on Twitter, because the systems are different, that your my career player would not be able to transfer over. Because somebody straight up asked him. So that's what I'm saying. If you can, then okay, then that's what's up. If they had some kind of breakthrough development or something like that. But otherwise, I don't remember that, like that's something they said you couldn't do. So, but no, that's my main take on it. And yeah, Hollywood, you right on that. The AI definitely is better in 21 for sure. So, but all right, but that's all I got on it, man.
Giannis.
Oh, you trying to guard Giannis?
Giannis ain't
that ain't gonna
no
work.
Games out here.
That ain't gonna work.
Yeah, man. I'm glad Smitty gave that information because that's key. So it sounds like to me from the gist of it from what Smitty said is if you get the Mamba edition, however way you go, you're gonna have the ability to get a code for next gen, but depending on what you want to transfer now and later and all of that, I think is whether you decide if you do the Mamba. So which one you gonna do, Smitty? You gonna do the current edition Mamba so you get the code for next gen, or you doing it vice versa?
Vice versa.
So you gonna buy the next gen Mamba edition and get the code for this one now.
Mm-hmm.
Got you.
Yep.
So yeah, there you have it. I think I might end up doing that too. Speaking of next gen, I mean, it's all of these rumors and stuff. It's sounding like it's gonna be tough to get a PS5, man.
Hey, I don't know if you saw it on Twitter or not. Well, yeah, they put they said Sony put up a thing to get an
invite,
email or whatever.
Yeah,
like
I signed up for
the pre-order, and I'm hoping during Gamescom, like since that's going on right now, started today. I'm hoping that it'll start. I mean, that they'll tell the street date.
Yeah.
at some point. Because I mean, it's for a few days, so hopefully they'll say something. Because I really want to know what's up.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, is it just through them? I mean, so what about like Amazon and all of that? You know, it's like, is it? It's such
That I don't know.
not.
I
It's
don't
no
know.
information. That really sucks.
Yeah, I
But
don't know. So I mean, the only thing we know, see, the only thing that we've seen online is Microsoft is coming out in November. The Series X is coming out in November, but they didn't say a street date or price. So it's like they said November, but but nothing else. So it's like, all right, man, like you guys keep playing around with these, dang on, little hit and misses with these hints, man. Like, what's really going on, man? So we need to know. Like, that's it. People need
yeah,
to be able to plan. Like, y'all waiting way too
it's
late
taking a
to do
long
this.
time, man.
Yeah, we should know something by now. So that's
Cause I remember y'all, you guys. Oh, thanks for the donation, PTA Sports. Let me read his comment
oh,
really
go
quick. He
ahead.
said, "Just finished playing my first game of Madden 21. Gameplay actually felt smooth. I don't hate it, but I don't love it." And we about to go right into that
Yep.
topic. What I wanted to say really quick, guys, y'all let me know if that round of applause was too loud. I changed my alert box thing here a little bit, so y'all, it sound loud in my ear, but I think maybe that's because of the way I'm listening to it. So y'all let me know. Um, but yeah, man, I don't recall it being this crazy when PS4 dropped. I think we had it was on pre-order for quite a while. I think I remember. Like they came out pretty early, especially with Amazon.
Yeah,
But
we knew about it. It was like around when did they say it? What play was it? PlayStation had their, it was either their specific event they had, or it was like a little bit after E3. Yeah, it was like a little after E3. We found out, well, we found out the console details. I think we found out about the game release date, the console release date, a little bit after that, but it was still in the middle of summer or something like that when we got to know. So we knew for both consoles, we knew what was up.
yeah,
It
we knew.
wasn't like, so this right here, I mean, unless there's something internal that's going on, that's just some kind of struggle, and they just don't want to put it out there because that's going to hurt from a shareholder perspective.
Yeah.
That could be it too. So I don't know. I have to wait and
I mean,
see.
cause shoot, remember when y'all talked me into the PS4? That was at like the first Madden event, if I remember correctly. That was early,
Was
or
that
was
the
it the
first one?
second one? I don't remember.
No, that was for Madden. That was for the next gen, but it wasn't out yet.
Yeah, it went out. But I think, yeah, I feel like it was months in advance that we had pre-orders.
Because they came out in November. Remember
Yeah,
no, because remember the pre-orders and everything were basically all done, and my man got you
my
one.
man gave me his. Yeah,
Yeah,
cause
he
he,
got So because they was all gone at that point in time.
yeah,
So that was like what, September, I want to say, because
yeah.
Madden came out in August.
I can't remember, but I know the pre-orders was there though for a minute because I remember I
Yeah,
was
yeah,
going
yeah, yeah.
Xbox, but
Yeah, they were.
all
They
in
were.
all, Sony, if y'all listening, if somebody happens to stumble across this video, stop playing, man. I mean, listen, here's the thing. We all know that what's going on, the pandemic and all of that, and I'm sure it slowed a lot of stuff. And if that's the case, just say it. Like, just you gotta at least just say, look, we only gonna have this amount. Some of you guys might not get it on the first go round, but we plan to reship on this date, reship on that date. Like, we need some info. Right now, everybody's just sitting here trying to figure out, you for us who are real hardcore gamers, like you afraid to not see the news and you see it too late. Oh, I didn't get on the, you know what I'm saying? It's like even like the thing yesterday. I probably didn't see that until like 7 hours after it had been posted and I signed up. So what's the chances of me getting an invite? So
Right.
that's all we're saying. Like just say what it is. Y'all
Yeah.
got people just sitting here. I mean, it's better for you. Your loyal fans are gonna be like, all right, cool. If I can't get it till January, whatever, but at least you know that. Everything's
Right.
gravy. But now nobody knows nothing. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, looking at my watch, it's September is next week.
Yeah.
Holiday
That's what I'm
season begins in
saying.
November, Jack. So come on, man. I don't know. But moving right along. Time we got. Oh, wow, man. We talked crazy. We
Yeah,
9:30
9:30.
already.
We was on
See,
them topics. You
and
know what I'm
usually
saying?
Madden dominates the show, so I'm actually glad it turned out this way.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys, let's get to it, man. As you guys know, some of you guys will be playing, and I'm gonna pick with y'all. A good number of you guys in the chat gonna be playing Madden tonight. I know y'all are. Y'all bought it. Some of y'all didn't. So, round of applause. Matter of fact, let's throw one out there. Hope you guys hear it. Round of applause to you guys that sticking to your guns and you're saying you're gonna pass on Madden 21. You haven't seen enough. You're gonna wait for next gen. Kudos to you, because I always say those people always want to give love and respect because, you know, at the end of the day, it's just a video game. You should be able to pass on something if it's just not tickling your fancy. You know what I mean? Even though you got that football itch, if it's just not what you need, it ain't your cup of tea, don't drink that tea. Go to another store. You know what I mean? If ain't another tea store around, drink something else, right? Until the tea comes back again. So I applaud those folks. Y'all know how Smitty and I, typically gets the game, so we don't really fall in that category. But here's the thing. I'm going to be very brief with this. I already made a video about it, and I will say it here. This is something that I give big love and big respect to 2K for, because starting with 2K19, OG, I know you in here, man. If you can correct me if I'm wrong with this. But I want to say with 2K19, that's when you guys started saying you were going to try to separate the two-man animations. And if I remember correctly, I saw it, I think the second go-round was in 2K20, because that's when I was like, yeah, I can see it. They improved that. They're doing a good job starting to clean that up. From the little bit of a time that I spent with the beta in 21. Demo. I don't know why I said beta. A little bit of time that I've spent with the demo in 21, I could see that you furthered that. And to me, it's to the point now, guys, where we've done this for so long. Speaking of Smitty and myself, I made my very first Madden feedback video in 2009, right? For you guys that have rocked with me that long, y'all remember my very first video. And let me just give y'all a quick small story down memory lane. Shout outs to Apex is free. If he happens to hear this, Gideon Prime, Truth Chasers, the finger, on the screen.
Point on the screen.
Shout outs to Gideon, man, because, I remember it very, very vividly. I happened to watch YouTube and I said, oh man, there's a guy on here that is saying the stuff that I like, but I didn't know this was a thing. I didn't know people were posting these videos. So I said, hey man, if he's doing it, I'm going to do it. And I came in, very first video was Madden 10. And I think I was either playing with or against the Eagles. I think I was playing with the Eagles perhaps. Because I even remember the play. It was Jeremy Maclin, right? I threw him a pass. It slanted into the end zone, and he ducked under the tackle. Like the dude did this, and he did a little duck. And my very first video was like, whoa, there's a positive I'm seeing in Madden 10. Maybe they're turning the corner. The same day, I came back with feedback, and it was feedback from that point on, right? So I say that to say this. We've been doing this so long that it has come to this point to where me and Smitty can see things from a very fundamental standpoint. This is not a knock towards any of the guys that are out there that's just bashing every Madden play, and that's what they do. I told y'all, I don't disagree with what anybody is doing, whether that's their base and that's their thing. At the end of the day, guys, this is YouTube. It's profitable for people to make the videos they make. I see people getting on Eric Rayweather for doing tips video. Yeah, listen. Eric on his way to 300,000 subscribers. He does this for a living. I
Yeah.
don't care about, I don't care about that. And even other people, you have your niche, right? So it's not about that to me. To me, it's all about what's the real problem. What causes all of these issues that we complain about for the most part?
And
It comes down to two-man sequence animations.
yep.
That's what it comes down to with me for Madden. It's that simple. And before I explain that, I'm gonna be quick because I want to definitely give Smitty a lot of time, man. Because he made a great video if you haven't seen it in regards to the passing. It's like this. Y'all want to know how I feel about Madden 21. I said this when I played the beta, and I even feel like this now. It's a cleaned up Madden 20. It's a cleaner Madden 20. Meaning, and I'll say that respectfully. Just like what Smitty said about 2K. I don't know why people were thinking they were going to see this groundbreaking game in Madden 21. Y'all know that won't happen on this console. Not because EA is lazy, which, if you have that opinion, that's cool. But none of that really applies here. The facts are we're at the brink of the end of the current console generation. We've seen it since it started with Madden 25, I believe, through now. And we all notice, all of us gamers that are at least 30 or above, maybe some of you 29-year-olds, 28-year-olds might notice, but we notice how it works with console generations. It gets to a point where graphically it's like, whoa, it blows you away, and then it's kind of boom. And then all that happens to each game after that is they add a little few 2K21. Looks the same. Cracks me up when people say that. Man, it looked like 2K20. What you expected it to look like? But gameplay is better, so they building on the structure. So Madden 21 to me is what Madden 20 should have probably been.
Yeah.
There's some good things in the game as far as y'all know what I've been saying. The way the receivers turn up. Wow. Why did it take this long to get that? You can, bruh. Y'all saw my video, me playing that guy online. Did you see that slant that I threw to James Washington? And you can't do that in 20, bro. That ain't happening. Catching it like that in front of the defense and housing it like 70 yards, that's not happening.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. You actually see some situations where, here's the weirdest thing, Smitty. There are times in the game where the two-man animation it's like it's not there.
Yeah.
I've seen moments where even in catching, I had a 3-man interaction that was no 2-man in sight. It was beautiful. But then, more than not, you get the situations like Smitty was showing in his video over and over and over.
Yes.
Y'all saw the stream that I did early on when I was doing EA Access. Had a great play with Preston Smith from Green Bay. He's engaged. He reaches out, but I actually remembered what that was too, Smitty, and I forgot. That's that 3-man interaction thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That M-man stuff.
But
yeah.
even with that, it looked appropriate.
Right.
Made sense.
Yeah.
So it's moments in the game where you're like, yo, it's there. It's almost like, for lack of a better term, it's almost like the fundamental is there, but then there's old code or something that every now and then it just negates everything. Because there are moments that you can see the technology that they've put in the game over the years. Like, wow, that played out clean. Oh, I see what they're doing here. But then you get those moments where every now and then there's an uninterrupted animation and tackling. There's a drawn together sequence. But it's not as much. So I will say the gameplay feels a lot better. It's better than Madden 20, in my opinion. It's still Madden. I mean, it's still a lot of the Madden stuff that we don't like. It pokes its head out every now and then. What else really quick, man? And like I said, guys, there's no need for us to really do a deep dive and full breakdown because this has been the game since let's say since 16. We all know what the game has been since then.
Yeah.
It's the same pretty much, but what's better and what's not better. That's really where Madden is at this point. Nothing earth shattering. Biggest disappointment of it all, man, is just in general. Why I said I'm giving my attention to next level. If it's gonna change, it's gonna have to be there. They're not gonna spend the time and resources and effort trying to fix the stuff that we want on current gen. For any of you guys that think it's gonna happen, it's not.
Mm-mm.
But all they have to do, Smitty, I mean, this is just the essential. Of course, there's other stuff. We'll fix Madden franchise, all of that, yes. But I think the root would come if the root problem is the two-man sequencing. If they could eliminate that, and if they can make the physics play out, if in case you guys didn't see it, this is not a plug, but look at the video I posted today in reference to Maximum Football 2020. I want y'all to watch that video. The man, David Winter, said, oh, we don't have tackle animations because physics drives that. Have we not been saying this for years? He literally said that. And then I showed you the clip that he posted on Twitter. I know y'all gonna rag on that game because it don't look, it's an indie product, guys.
Yeah.
But look at what happened. Guy catches the ball. Defender comes, stops his momentum. Second guy comes in, knocks everybody over. Physics.
Hey, and we was going back. I seen the back and forth you had on Twitter about that. I mean, it wasn't nothing crazy, but it was just the back and forth you had with Mark.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like that clip is that's it right there.
That's it, man.
That's it. And that's an indie studio doing it. So it's like, you see what I'm saying?
This is all I can say, man. And then I'm going to throw it to Smitty. Very simple. What I mean when I say I want the game to be released to physics, I'm not saying there shouldn't be animation. You have to have animation in every single game. You have an animation library. But all I'm saying is I want it to be to where when players collide, physics takes over. Physics dictates how they fall, how the limbs go. That's all we're saying. It should be a marriage. You got to have your animations, your running animations, you got to have all of that. But when players touch, animations should be augmented based off of the physical contact in every sport. And again, some people are going to say, man, Sim, it's a video game. Okay, I get that. But we got examples. Backbreaker did it in 2000, whatever it was. What was it, 2007? 2008?
No, that was 09.
09.
Yeah.
That was the euphoria tech in a video game then. FIFA does a better job than Madden. PES does a better job than Madden with that.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? So we're not asking for stuff that's not possible. And here we got Maximum Football, like I said,
doing it better than me.
They got the right idea out the gate. So when they build on that game gonna be all right, man.
Yeah.
Over the years, it's not.
Yeah. I mean, right.
But yeah, take it away, Smitty. What's your thoughts, man?
I was just saying, look, the physics thing. It's like I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it's capping. I'm not saying dudes is capping for Madden and acting like, oh, they just can't or something. But it's like there's this reason, as to why can't it happen in Madden? And it's like there's some kind of reason that Madden can't get it, but FIFA already got it. PES already got it. NHL got it. UFC, in the way their game works, they got it, but Madden can't have it. And I'm like, it just doesn't. That's not excusable. Like, no, you're the only game on the block, so it's like you have no choice but to get up. So you mean Madden just has to be behind on purpose? That's just the way it is. I'm like, well, that's the case. Then relinquish the license. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I'm sorry, you can't keep coming out lollipopping like that. And I mean, look, like. Just from the game, I mean, just going away from the physics standpoint and just the game itself. Look, the play Sim had from his video that he was even talking about having a dialogue on Twitter with. it's a 2-man can animation where my man reaches out for the pylon, just like many of us had suspected and basically predicted
Yeah.
on Twitter when they show him the next gen and all that. Pat Mahomes getting hit and my man reaching out and all that. It's like that's that. I'm like, there's no way those are separate animations. That's got to be 2-man. Like it's not. That's not a behavioral thing. That's animation. That's all one thing, and that's where it's at. And it's like when you talk about Backbreaker, as we know, and those of y'all that played Backbreaker and really got to experience it. I mean, look at the trailer. Look at the trailer of it. The little here comes the boom joint, and you see my man trying to jump over the pile and organically just making contact with bodies and all that stuff and hitting the ground. Dudes, I mean, defender can't once again. If the ball is not restricted, the ball carrying arm is not restricted, defender can be wrapped around his waist, hitting him toward the side or whatever. He gonna get hit, koosh, and he's still gonna reach out anyways for the extra, like stuff like that. Going out of bounds, even he's getting hit. Boom! Oh snap! Let me put it out. Going to just that's what I'm talking about right there. That kind of stuff. And see, the gameplay was so organic that yes, it was more like the behavior was repetitive, but the outcomes and how they played out were not repetitive. So that's the point.
2009, folks.
Huh.
On Xbox 360.
Yeah.
Not Xbox One.
Right.
Not Xbox Series X. 360. Euphoria. I mean, even if you guys don't know what that, just look up what Euphoria. It was in a video game. Man, I don't know. I don't know. But like I said, guys, give Smitty a second, man. It's like, oh, you back?
Yeah, I'm back.
All right.
I'm back. Oh, what?
It's not like we're ragging. Like at least I know I'm not. I'm not ragging on the game. The game is, like some of you guys have said in the chat, it's a smoother, cleaner,
All right, I'm back. Sorry.
Better 20 in 21. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
Smitty.
but I'm sorry, but now, Madden. Going off of what Sim said, Madden 21 is a smoother version of Madden 20. That's not really a good thing.
No,
I mean, it's what I'm saying, like,
right.
I mean, you know what I mean, like, it's like you got people celebrating, and I mean, I'm not knocking anybody here. If you like the game, you like the game.
Yeah.
That's fine. But it's like this is the sad part about Madden is that it's like Madden makes such small incremental steps forward that it's like when they make a small step forward, it's like, yo, did you see what they did this year? And it's like, man, we've been deprived so badly that now it's like the little bit they do, the little bit that could be given. I mean, if something's just a little bit better, it's like they done some work. And that's why I gotta be quick to let me pull out these passing videos real quick. Because I'm hearing and everything. Oh, yo, man, you could pass so better now. How? My video showcases that. How can you pass so much better? Versus all pro football?
You got to turn the sliders down.
Yeah.
That's the only way you can get it to loosen up.
That's crazy. But it shouldn't take that. And that's what I'm saying. I'm playing the game based off of ship. Yep. I'm not playing with somebody's roster or a slider set. I'm like, no, I want to see, did EA get this out the cannon? And no, they didn't. And I'm not expecting anyone to bat 1,000 out the gate. But once again, we can't touch sliders in that 2K21 demo. And look at that. So that's my point. So it's like when I play Madden, I want to see football replicated. They promoted it in Madden 06. Authentic NFL passing comes to Madden in Madden '06. Why'd y'all take that away? Because it's not there now. And please, pretty please, guys, don't post these two-man animations where they're selling the illusion of you threw him open. And it's like, oh, yo, I'm dropping dots in all day. No, you're not dropping anything anywhere. You're literally throwing it to where the receiver is ending up, and they're having a two-man animation trigger to show that illusion of, oh, snap, look what I did. No, you just so happen to win the dice roll in that instant. Just wait till I drop my video about the fade routes, because I got that coming as well. That one is
Oh.
done. I got to put that out because I'm literally going to showcase to you how in Madden how it's depicted, because the way Madden depicts, let me show. Throwing a receiver open is an inaccurate pass. You know when it tells you at the bottom of the screen what you did when you threw the pass.
Mm-hmm.
It's when you're under pressure and it's inaccurate. That's when you throw your receiver open. When you can't reach it, but they throw it in the open space, out of your range, or it's out of range. Um, when you throw an accurate pass, it's when you're throwing it literally to where your receiver is going to be. So what I did was I took All Pro Football and I put it on the goal line and I said, let me run fade routes,
Oh,
doing slants.
you already know.
And I did it on purpose. I said, let me show you how it's done in Madden. I'm gonna throw like how it is in Madden. I'm gonna throw it right to the receiver and see what happens. And you see the DBs get it, pot it down, pick it off, and then you see when I actually throw it into space. And yeah, passes get broke up because it's congested. It's the goal line. But at the same time, you also got some beautiful receptions. Defender jumps up and everything, can't touch it, able to come down with it. And on top of that, I'm using, shout out to my man 2K Football now. I'm using his roster, playing it, and I'm using the Lions. So I got Rodney Pete. He ain't got no abilities or nothing like that. And I'm just throwing it right there.
You got that dog out there though. Herman
And
gonna
he
go
can,
get that thing.
yeah, 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 that's true, dude.
Herman gonna
That's
go
true.
get that joint.
Yeah. But you're seeing the receptions there, and it's like you see how you're able to try and throw them open, and you see how you throw the ball to an area, or at least they throw the ball to a vicinity
Yeah.
where if the DB is going to get to it, they can't just snag it. They gotta reach all the way up and try to get a hand on it. That's how you should be able to do it. You used to be able to do that back on PS2 and Xbox days. You can't do that kind of stuff now. And see, that kind of stuff is problematic to me because once again, that's the kind of stuff that makes Madden gameplay predictable. And it takes away that's an immersion killer, and it takes away the good stuff from the game, which there is good stuff now. Don't get me wrong. I like the running.
Yeah.
I like some of the zone coverage
Yeah.
differentials in there now. Like, don't it's sharper. Like my man DSK is pleased, which is a big time shock to me to see on my timeline. To see,
And the
Kia.
fixes ain't
So,
even in yet. Like, oh, by
right.
the way, let's promote that really quick. Kia said he's
Oh
doing his
yeah.
part 2 tonight. Make sure y'all listen, man.
Yeah.
If y'all
Listen to
don't do
Kia.
nothing else, make sure you watch his breakdowns.
Yes. Listen to Kia. He will educate you about some Madden on a football tip, not
Yep.
not the video game tip, but on a football tip. So definitely, he does great breakdowns over the course of the year, especially when he does his specific coverage breakdowns, coverage and offenses breakdowns too. So he does a real good job with that. But that I mean, like I said, there's not a lot to get into. Like Sim said, this game has basically been virtually the same kind of game for the longest time. And I mean, look, I do appreciate the zone drops. That is a nice touch. I do appreciate that, being able to, adjust your drop depth and
It works
everything like
too.
that. Yeah, and my man Zan he did a good video. Shout out to Zan. He did a good video to showcase those drops initially in certain situations and everything too. So I appreciate that from him. But otherwise though, that's that's it. That's shoot. That's all that I really got. I mean, we got to see what happens on next gen, honestly. And I mean, we said this before, but it's going to be more about next gen and what they potentially bring over there. I don't know if there's really going to be much meat on the bone that we're going to get. That's why I'm like, right now, I mean, look, I'm able to play the full version of Madden. Yeah, the fixes aren't put in yet, but I'm able to play the full version of Madden. And it's like I'm getting more of the simulation sports fun. I'm getting that out of this 2K demo than what I'm getting out of Madden right now. And that's the
Hmm.
unfortunate part and it's because of how Madden plays. If Madden was a more open and organic kind of playing game, like how we see with the tackle situations in maximum football, that would open up that floodgate for me. And I'd be like, man, yo, I can't wait to play Madden because see, EA can do it too. But
They
I don't
can
want to
do it.
see all these canned animations trying to give us that belief of physics play. Like, no, give us that real time physics play. It's like it's as if you had the physics in there with the animations, and instead of refining that, it just became more. It's like you have a little bit of physics in there, but it's mainly about two-man anims or three-man specific anims triggering for the most part. It has to be better than that. You know what I mean? And it just does, like for real. Because next gen, I mean, I know the price point of games are going to be going higher and everything like that, but people are going to be more frugal with their purchase choices. And it's like you got to bring a game to the table that's really going to bring it and deliver. And that's what I'm looking forward to. Like I look at that NBA, we saw that 2K 21 Zion joint and everything, and that's pre-alpha footage. Like that's crazy to see that's pre-alpha footage looking like that. So I want to see how the game is actually going to look on the court, which I know in the coming months that's what we're going to see leading up to this next gen release. So I want to see it. I want to see that out of Madden. I expect that out of Madden. I expect that out of all these games. I
Yeah.
know that next gen we're only going to have FIFA and Madden, and of course 2K. Unfortunately, I know. Well, I mean, I didn't see any announcement for NHL, so I believe they'll be on this gen. But I want to see what NHL is going to be bringing to the table once again because they do have an impressive game, very impressive game in NHL, and it has solid gameplay. And you can tune the gameplay to your personal liking because they got the tuners in there that you could pick, and you got all the different types of sliders and sets and such that you can that you can
Mm.
adjust and augment too. So it's like
Them
you got your
sliders,
own
man.
sandbox. You know what I'm saying?
Gosh.
They got a sandbox full of things you can tune and adjust and make that experience catered just to the way you want it outside of the way that the devs tune the game. And that's the cool part about it. You could pick the day one tuner from when the game first comes out all the way to if they have a latest tuner, like if they just dropped a tuner yesterday or something, if they did that, you don't have to play with that. You can play with the day one tuner, be like, no, I like the way it was at factory, even with what you did. Dude, you know what I'm saying? Like, which we've said a long time ago, we need to see something like that in Madden. So that's Madden is too freaking far behind, dude, for to be getting caught up to by maximum football like that. I'm just gonna say that tackling situation, you had Sim going back and forth with tweets and everything like that, and then bam, these dudes come out with a clip that literally depicts what Sim was talking about, and it's like spot on right there. Like that's exactly what you know that tackle right there. I know the game's gonna be raw, and I mean I do want to support those guys. Like I think I'm gonna cop it this year, and I'm gonna support it. I'll play it here intermittently, but I do want to support those guys
Yeah,
because
I'm doing it this year.
that is a good like it may not have the look necessarily, but I mean heck, I have other indie games that don't have necessarily the graphical look, but at the same time the gameplay is sound, even if it's just fun, like the just for the fun factor. So what they're doing though, I could look at that and make videos off of that, especially if we see next gen or quote unquote next level and the tackling physics ain't right. And I see that maximum football got it and he ain't got it,
Man.
clowning, clowning. And I don't want no excuses. Well, they got this situation versus our situation. Nope, no excuses. Gaming is gaming. These dudes got it. Indie gamer, indie studio came up, all that good stuff, and you guys should have had. You should have it. You know what I'm saying? It's not, and that's nothing against Clint and all them. That's got nothing to do with them. I know that's a decision that goes above those guys, but and like I said before, I know we get to the end, but like I said before, the what was it the last? I think the last show that we did. Remember, Scott OG came from EA, NBA Live, working on that series, and you wouldn't have been able to tell anything he truly did on that game that was truly, truly impactful the way that game came out. This dude goes over there to 2K and look what he did in over there with 2K16 and what he was able to bring to the table in that game. And he was just, oh, a system, that's me. What do you work on? The defense, I think, whatever. Like, yep, that's me. All these things are him. Oh, I'm talking to the coaches and I'm talking to this and I'm hearing this and all that. Where was all this at with NBA Live? And see, you see what I'm saying? And I like it makes me feel like if he had the option, he probably went to them and said, "Hey guys, I want to do this. Hey, what coaches can I consult? Because I want to get their input on this and that." Oh no, we good. That's what it looks, and that's my takeaway from the game versus 2K. These dudes are right outside the front.
Man.
They're up front with it. Just saying, man.
Let me tell y'all something real quick, man, in reference to OG. OG works for a company. And the reason why I say that is obviously, guys, he's not going to be in here loosey-goosey in the chat. There's certain things he's not going to say, because he's also a smart man. He's a family man, beautiful wife, beautiful kids, great family, right? He's not going to risk his job for us. So he ain't going to say much, but I'm going to say a couple things for him without giving you guys information that maybe I've talked to him about. You know what I mean? There's still a level of respect. I'm never going to do that. I'm never going to divulge any information that I've been privileged to get from some of these guys as far as devs. Just kick back and talking, like when I used to see OG in person. But one thing that I can say that I'm confident in saying this. There's a reason why he left EA. Okay? I need y'all to just think about that. OG comes from the same school we come from. Even when he was playing ball and when he found a lot of us YouTubers, because he was the same, a sim guy, right? Y'all ain't even heard OG talk his football talk as far as Madden. There's no coincidence why a guy moves from Florida to California to work for another company. There's a thing that's called creative freedom. Yep. And you see the difference. Mike Wong left 2K. He even openly admitted it in his article. Yeah, I was feeling myself a little bit. I did my thing. I'm going to go down here and see what I can do. And went right back. Yeah. And it's really sad, man, because, again, that's where my defense of the devs come from, if y'all want to know. I know what these guys are about. If y'all read that article on ESPN that Clint, was featured in, when they talk about guys like Scant, man, I wish Scant was a more talkative guy so y'all can know where his brain is at.
Yes.
You talking about, like, these dudes are us. They want the best of the best of the best, and that's why I keep pushing this envelope, and I'm going to keep putting it in their face now that corporate know we out here. And they've been known, but now, we struck a different nerve. It's the reason why I'm even sounding like I'm sounding right now. I'm looking right over here. I'm recording this footage in a minute. I'm going to put out a video. I might do it tonight if I get a chance. This is the worst two-man animation sequence I think I have ever seen in Madden. Horrible. There's no excuse for this. The wide receiver and the DB are literally running the same route. DB does that little ghost effect, turns his back, and they're literally running the same thing. Ball comes in. It's that is the problem with this game. And the funny thing is, it don't happen all the time. What is it? But you're never going to get the enjoyment that you could get when you have those situations happening. And they must this must be resolved in next gen. Must. If this carries over to next gen, I don't know, man. I'm being dead serious. If we see these situations occur on the next gen
Oh
platform,
yeah. Like you
and
can't.
yeah, man,
It
I
can't
don't.
just be a port over. You can't be porting over all these problems.
Nah,
Like
you can't. You can't.
and be saying next level. Like you did it. It's been going on for far too long. Where you over promoted and under delivered, but then you got 2K that they promoting up here, you're getting up here, and we can't keep having that with Madden. And once again, like you said, let Maximum Football keep doing their thing the way they doing it. They're gonna be up there. You know what I mean? Now, will they be Madden? Not necessarily, but they'll be good enough that they can possibly make an impact. Now, I'm not saying impact as far as NFL, I'm not sure, but they could definitely make a legit impact. And also, excuse me, let us not forget about the whole 2K21 deal, depending upon what they do with that NFL 2K, depending upon how their approach is. That could make an impact too. And then you never know what may happen, what the NFL may say, because there's no way they could see, there's no way that they don't notice what 2K has been able to do with the NBA side financially. They
Right.
made a lot of money on that side of the fence. So it's like if they want to make they and like I said, Madden is making the money that they make, but I highly doubt that they make more money than 2K does because Madden doesn't even sell nearly as many copies. So you don't have excuse me, you don't have as many people microtransactioning off your game, unlike 2K does. So excuse me, that's something that they have to look into. Now, FIFA, oh yeah, they got that because they got the licensing. So they got that. But I'm just saying, as far as North American sports is concerned, like the more popular sports in North America are basketball and football. And 2K is running that table right now. So that's what I'm saying. Madden saying welcome next level. Yeah, okay, it better be next level, and you better have some true resolutions with these problems. And so I look forward to you putting out that video. Whenever you put it out, Sim, like you drop that joint,
It's bad, man.
showcase it.
What I'm doing right now, and see y'all seeing my process in real time. Y'all know I always look at all the positions. I scan man. I'm finding stuff that I didn't even notice at first. And again, it comes down to interactions. That's it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's oh man, it's hideous, man. It's crazy, guys, because and yet you still hear us say, and I still stand by this, the game ain't all bad. But
No, that's not super bad. No.
when it's and I know you're gonna get a level of this in a lot of video games, but when it happens at the rate that it's happening here, man, it's unfortunate. It's oh god, man. You just gotta let them play free. Everything from the way they interact, the player movement, meaning every step has to be accounted for. You can't pop them in place. You can't glide them across the field. Like at this point, remember when 2K introduced that new momentum tech and all of that, and
Eco motion.
it can be done, man. I mean, I was even saying that in 2K20 how you can feel that momentum. You can feel the steps.
Should play FIFA. You know what I'm saying? FIFA is perfect with them interacting. I understand it's not all these people colliding at once. I get that. But that game, you are not stuck in two-man animations. And they have two-man animations, but you're not stuck. You're not glued in place with any of those interactions. You could still, if I want to move left, if I want to move right, okay, if I can get the footing right, I can move. But if I can't, then I'm realistically restricted. I may fall down because my legs are tangled up with another guy. And I'm like, that's the point. We should have that kind of stuff in Madden at this point. It shouldn't be a 2-3 man animation has to play out in order for the outcome to be depicted properly. That shouldn't be necessary. But here we are, still doing it with Madden, while everybody else goes far ahead of Madden. Like, so what's the excuse?
What was that? 4 minutes and 46 seconds of the worst player interactions I have seen across the board. Man, it makes my head hurt, man. It's Well, we'll see. Listen, like I said, all of my feedback for Madden 21 is going to be slated for next level. This stuff ain't going to be fixed. This is a fundamental issue. This is not a patchable thing, a title update thing. No, this is coding. And like I said, the last thing I was saying, we can end it, on this note. I was once told, and again, I can't tell you guys exactly what they were referring to because, that was a private conversation. But I've been told that there's just certain things that they cannot accomplish without rebuilding from the ground. And it's certain things. And I was like, oh. And that's why you guys hear me when I say, look, I'm going at next gen. It ain't happening. Some of this stuff is not happening on this console. It's just not going to happen. And not only just rebuilding, the coding, how certain things are coded. These things have been the same. Like the stuff that we talking about, this has been the same since how many years? That ain't going to change, man. It's not going to change. Our only hope is that it goes over to this new generation from the ground up in a better way. And what I mean by that is not the Madden 06 way. But I feel like, this is me personally, and hopefully one day in OG, like I said, when y'all can talk about next gen, I want to get you on here so we can discuss how you guys did it. I would imagine that there's a certain level of port over with a game. Like let's look at it from a car standpoint. I know this is not a direct comparison, but let's say a house. Okay, so name a builder, right? They have a foundation. We always start our foundation like this. And we've been doing it this way since 1960. But it's now 2020 and you go inside the house and you see, they got a water slide in the crib. Like it's crazy. But they can do that because their foundation is in place. They ain't never got to touch that. But they can build and retool and recreate and implement because the foundation is proper. So there is a level of port over. Like you would imagine they'll port over the structure of Ultimate Team, the structure of ARM, if they're still using that animation technology, like those things. But as far as the interworkings, in a perfect world, I would imagine that since y'all have had the dev kits and all of that, y'all are doing your retooling over there. You know what I mean? And that's what you're doing, and then you're going to introduce it that way. That would be the perfect situation. And I'm only guessing here, but if 2K is telling us that, it's possible. They said they built it it's built from the ground to run on next generation. So That's why I'm like, yo, dog, if 2K can do that, remember what I always say. These industries know what each other pretty much are doing and what they're capable of. People talk, man. Engineers talk, like they know. They know what the like Smitty said, he's in IT. He know what the next new thing is, like the next new motherboard. Like he knows this stuff because he's in that field. That's what I'm saying. You hear about, oh, yo, you heard about that Euphoria tech? Oh yeah, we got to get that Infinity engine. You see, like they. That's why I'm saying there's at this point there's no excuse, man. I don't want to hear it. And if next gen, and that's what I would end with. I was trying to get to this point and I was long winded. When I keep saying that I think next gen is going to be different, what I'm talking about, optimized to me means these things aren't the same. The way they interact and all of that and move. Remember that what they're promoting, they're using stat-driven player movement. What? Like, what is that? That's what you were saying. So what does that mean? That must mean you got some new technology going on. See what I'm saying? So when I say that it's not going to be a completely different game, it's still probably going to be Madden 21, so to speak. Like I'm not even expecting there ain't going to be no franchise updates and that. I don't expect that. It's still going to be the same game in theory, but not the same game because the way players perform now and interact. That's what I'm looking to see. And I need to see that. If I don't see that this year, it's a fail. I'm sorry. And I will be yelling and screaming and kicking that the whole year. As much as I told y'all, I'm on that ledge saying I think it's going to be different. If it ain't, they going to get tired of me. They probably not going to like me, like corporate EA, because I'm going to be, y'all lied to us again. You lied to us again. Because this time is worse, Smitty, because you're promoting these two games. Like, at least with Ignite, right? That was kind of it. We thought, let's be fair really quick. We thought 25 was gonna be that, and live was gonna be, but they didn't really say they wasn't necessarily promoting the now with that. Kinda, but kinda not. With this, you are literally putting online as one of your headers, next level. That's this game. It'd be different if they said next generation gaming coming on next generation consoles.
Right. Yeah.
Like we have this new Ignite engine. This is what you will see over time. That's really what they were telling us, but they sold it to us like it was coming today.
Right.
With next level, you are literally selling that. It is a clickable option on Madden's page. Next level for 21, not for PlayStation 5, what to expect. No.
Right.
We're advertising this for Madden and FIFA specifically. So that means you're telling me the game we get is going to be everything that you have listed in them bullet points.
Mm-hmm.
And if it ain't, get ready for vintage sim standard when we knew nothing about how things work. We're gonna go ham on them. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna go crazy on y'all.
Time to turn back the clock.
Go ahead, this lie is to us again. Andrew.
That is different. This is completely different. You're right. That is very true. I didn't even think about it like that. That is true.
It's totally different, man. So that's all I got. I didn't mean to run off so crazy. I mean, I'm off tomorrow, by the way. So we running a little long here, man. But like I said, guys, and I'll end it with this, and I definitely want to give Smitty, and I always say that. We always say we ending and we keep talking, but y'all don't mind. I want Smitty to give the last words. Listen, this is what we do. Y'all know that. This is what we always do. I'm always going to show the good. I'm always going to show the bad. So even though I'm going to post this video, I'm still finding some enjoyment in the game. I've actually had a good time. Offline, I've played, so far, I'm 2 games into my offline franchise. So Steelers fans and you guys who follow my series, wait till y'all see game 1 against the Giants. It's nice. But when you see these things, like if I didn't show this and that, I don't think I'm doing my job properly. And that's why I say, and my job technically is and showing y'all, like y'all have been following the sim standard for a long time. Y'all expect us to give it how it is, both sides. You expect Smitty to make that video that he made with the passing controls or lack thereof, in the next video that he advertised that he said he's gonna drop tonight or whenever he
Yep.
gets to it.
Yeah.
We have to do this. So don't take this video as, dang, he bashed. No, I hate this, and I'm gonna title it as such. Madden 21 worst player animations I have ever seen. Player interaction, excuse me, because it is across the board. It's like these are some of the worst I've seen. Is but it don't happen all the time. So it's meant to light a fire, man. And I'm going to emphasize in that commentary, this cannot be happening on next gen. If this happens on Gen 5, Madden to me is a failure. Because, again, and Dez, I hope Dez is still listening. I'm glad Smitty mentioned that tonight because Dez had some questions as well as far as like, tech stuff. Smitty is IT. I do more help desk type. Like I'm not as critically into the interworking. So you might want to ask Smitty some of those questions. I even ask Smitty sometimes like, yo, what about this? I'm more on the more general realm. And it's like I have like a 3-layer type of job. But Smitty is probably a little more techie, right? But I was going to say that Smitty knows this as much. And I know this. It ain't like if it gets on Gen 5 that you can change it during that console generation. Listen, understand what I'm saying. If you come over with this, and they not gonna change it. Like I don't think you go to you can't rebuild the structure once you brought it over to a new generation. Like the idea would be is you would start off the new generation on this new platform, like this new way of doing. That's
Yeah.
what they
Yeah.
tried to do with '06 and failed.
Yeah.
But if what we see happening here comes over to Gen 5,
Ooh,
I feel
no.
like it's that's already dead in the water.
Yeah, that's a fail. That's
I don't
epic.
think you can fix it. I don't think you have enough time in the cycle to recode, and you think the boss is
Mm-mm.
going to allow them to. No, that's
Nope.
why this one is this is a critical situation that we're about to witness, man.
Yeah,
So
it is.
that's all I got, man. Smitty, take us
Yeah.
away, man. Anything
Nah,
else you
man.
want to add or?
I ain't really got nothing major to add on to that, but I mean that's very true. I mean, you can't have what would be cool to me is to see you go over the next gen and like all the stuff you see in the feedback list, like from the whole Fix Madden franchise campaigning and everything that mentioning and all that. It'd be something that they will if they did all of that in next gen by default and more in next gen and say, oh, next level, we got y'all with this. Boom, boom, bang, bang. And this is what we did. You know what I'm saying? Along with gameplay, visuals, controls, play calling, all that stuff. Like everything is built up from scratch, like Sim said. And that's the thing about it. Once again, like I was saying earlier about systematic implementation kind of stuff, when you have a new system, hey guys, this is a new method that we're going with when it comes to XYZ and ABC. You're starting on a new platform. You're not going to use the same old thing forever because that's gone now. This is the new thing. And it's the same kind of deal. You got to have your new thing. 2K got their new thing coming. You know what I mean? So it's like
And
we
I
got to
believe
see
them
EA
too.
do it. We don't, right, and they've proven that. So it's like we need to see EA come with their new thing and not just a new, and that's it. It can't be a new thing. It's got to be a new entire platform, concepts, everything from concept to the finished product. Everything is like, yo, this is all fresh. All of it is fresh. All of it is innovative. All of this is really, we're taking things up to new limits and new heights. So that's the key thing we got to see from EA. excuse me, to really deem it as impressive. So at least to me, that's what I feel they have to do. But all in all, I will say this though, like always, guys, just to end the show, we appreciate all y'all coming through, hanging out here with us. We appreciate the donations that have came through today as well. Thanks a lot, you guys. We appreciate y'all hanging out and rocking with us again this week. And hey, next week, I know we were kind of getting back into the swing of things, and then we got into the real life, scenarios and all that, talking about that. But next week, hopefully, we could get back and doing some calls. Like we could get everything within the first hour potentially,
Yeah.
and then we can go ahead and take some calls, and you guys can come through and carry the weight of the show for us in that second hour. But we'll be back, next week. We appreciate all y'all coming through, man. So, appreciate even at this point. I know we late on the line here, but we appreciate you guys.
They rocking. Look at them,
even
man.
even
They
in
still
extra
here.
time, here, what I mean? We appreciate it. So y'all all take care and be safe.
Yeah, man, and we definitely want to do the panel again. I know NY Kia had mentioned that, and I had thought about doing that tonight, and then I realized I was like, it's so much for us to cover. Um, I figured we just knock these 2+ hours out tonight because we missed last week, and it
Hmm.
probably worked out better. But we definitely still want to do that, so you can hear those guys. If they all are coming. I know Kia and Bills are playing the game. I don't know about DJ and VF, but we definitely want to still do that and have a discussion like that because I think that's always good. So that'll be coming. Maybe next week. We'll see. After everybody's actually had a real chance to play the game. 'Cause I know some people that may not have had it earlier. We'll be getting at it this week or red boxing it. You probably can do that tonight or tomorrow. But yeah, we'll do that. But yeah, like Smitty said, everybody be safe, man. It's still crazy out here. I mean, not even just the pandemic. Just unfortunately, some of us in our community, it's a real thing. It's a real thing. We gotta be safe out here, man, because you know. But we beat that up enough early in the show. But other than that, be safe, guys. I know I already said it, but I'm gonna say it again. We catch you guys later. Thanks for coming through. God bless and good night. Peace.